Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Brewhouse Tavern. I'm Randy, and I'm here with Jeff. And today we're starting.
Hey.
And today we're starting a new version of the World Weaver Phase 1. So we're starting from the beginning. We're going to be building a new world. Starting with this kind of the setting and some historical events. So here at the Brewhouse Tavern, we'll brew all kinds of things, one-shot campaigns, NPCs. Yeah, but today we're starting with World Weaver Phase 1. This is our gamified, AI-assisted world-building tool. So let's see. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. Yeah?
Let's do it. I'm excited to see what we do. Taking another stab at this. We've tried once, and it created something that was interesting. And maybe we'll be a little less interesting this time. Still interesting.
Yeah, the last one we made was the Churning Veil, and it was really fun. There's a lot of cool things I think that came out of that. A place that I could definitely find a way to play in. But this time we're going to maybe stick to a little bit of high fantasy, kind of your sort of standard D&D type campaign. Let's see how this goes. All right. Alright, so here we go, and first thing that happens is the AI prompts us for player names. So we're going to put in 3. Let's see, it's going to be Randy, Jeff, and what we were doing, Legend Keeper.
Yes, Legend Keeper. I was like, Lore Binder? It was Legend. I think it was Legend Keeper was the name.
So Legend Keeper.
And Legend Keeper is really I was going to say, Legend Keeper is really a placeholder for anyone in the chat that if you listen to this later on and you see this, it's a place for you, opportunity for you to share. So we really want to solicit the advice from the chat to give us ideas of what we're going to do with this world. So we really do want you to be a part of creating this new world with us.
Yeah. Come on in and break what we're doing. Just
Absolutely. We will take your chaos or your law.
That's right.
Whatever alignment you may align in, we'll take it.
That's right. Alright, so it's accepted us, and so now we're determining limits. So we have a few limits that in mind that we wanted to do, because we've found that these LLMs, they have some tendencies, particularly ChatGPT at least, has some tendencies when it comes to creating some of these places or people that we don't so much like, but maybe you do, and maybe you want to leave them in, but
I think we might want to, say, let's make sure that it isn't completely. Yeah, that's a good idea. I was gonna say, it's not completely removed, but like, I think if we want to allow it, it should be out of our, like, we should request it kind of thing more.
Yeah. Music, memory, prophecy. All of these are good things on their own, but man, we just get so much of it when we do this, and some of them are really hard to picture. Like, for example, illusions and multiverses, alternate realities. It's so much to get your mind around. What we're doing here is already difficult enough. So these things we found it. Sorry.
Yeah, like singing cliffs and stuff like that. That's always been a bit of a challenge and a bit of struggle. Or people who sing instead of talking. That's all been challenging stuff to really include, and so we just found that this might be a good thing to reduce or remove. It just seems like when the AI does it, it uses it as a potential area of drift. It
Yep.
easily sinks into these.
Yeah, and prophecy is just kind of my own personal bugaboo, but I,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either.
it seems like it's spelled wrong. Is that spelled wrong? It doesn't matter. Okay.
No, that's it. That's right.
All right, so let's go ahead and let this rock, and this should get us directly into the game now. So, okay, yeah, looks like creative limits, avoid memory loss, memory-based magic, worlds built around. Okay, good. It really did well at understanding the purpose of that. So avoid prophetic destinies or foretelling plot lines. Yeah. Okay, good. So there, now we've kind of set the boundaries for our world, and of course you can set whatever boundaries you want. In fact, you could. Here we're setting some negative boundaries, but you could set a positive boundary as well. If you say, I only want things that occur in Faerun or something, maybe.
Or if you definitely want, let's say your world, you want steampunk in it or something, and that's not the genre, but maybe it's high fantasy, but you want to include pistols or something like that. You could say I want to include that. Give it a more stylistic approach towards something, and still pick high fantasy or something that's maybe not typically has that stuff, and add those to your limits.
Yep. Yeah. You may end up getting a lot more of that than you want, but you can sort of,
That's true.
you can sort of temper it as you go along. So,
And as you just mentioned, as you go along too, I don't think this is going to be our only opportunity. So as we get going, if we find something that we're like, look, we really don't like this, we could always say, hey, can you add this to the limits? We're really seeing a lot of this. We don't really want to see this anymore. So go ahead and just add that in, and it should pick up on that pretty good.
yep. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, so here's the very start of it. So the first thing to do is determine the genre, and let's see. So we get a roll table, and this is how a lot of these, a lot of this works in World Weaver is based on some roll tables to randomize it a little bit and provide some ideas. But so when we do this, these are suggestions. Read them, choose what you want, mix ones that you want, choose something completely different, ask for a new roll table. Don't be locked into what shows up on the screen. However, I say that, and then now I'm going to say that our goal for this particular world is going to be high fantasy. Now, let's see. So this one in particular says high fantasy kingdoms on the brink of discovery and war. What do you think of that, Jeff?
I don't know that I like that. I don't like the, that sets a different tone than I think a lot of what we were trying to go for as a typical kind of D&D world, and those aren't always on the brink of war and discovery and war. I would say they seem like they're more established.
Yep.
So I don't know that I like the additional piece of that. So we could always say one, but let's just make it high fantasy.
Let's try this.
Are you going to try and see if it does that? Oh, there you go. That's a good idea. We'll give it see what it does.
Alright, so that gave us a roll table here. So runebound kingdoms, civilizations powered by ancient sigils. Let's see, this one I already like a lot more than a lot of the stuff we've been getting. Like if you have ancient sigils everywhere, like you already have an exploration prompt for all of your characters. to go searching after these sigils or draw power from the sigils or something like that. So that's kind of a, and it does stick in the fantasy, high fantasy sort of genre. So Shattered Realms, once united empires, now broken into rival city-states. Politics, trade, and ancient relics define power. That's also pretty good. And I think better than like On the Brink of War. Verdant age, nature has claimed much of civilization. Druid beasts and living forests hold sway over human kingdoms. I kind of like that one also.
It flips the traditional genre on its head and says, instead of civilization be the center of power, nature is the center of power, which is kind of a neat. Still high fantasy, but just flipped basically.
Yeah. I think probably let's avoid that one because we do want to.
Sure.
Yeah. We
keep something a little bit more traditional.
All right. So,
they'd still be around, but yeah, they would just be less. Less potent. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, Iron and Ember, a world where primitive magic collides with early industry, fire forges, airship, and I think we avoid this one for the same reason. We don't want to emphasize artificers necessarily, and we don't want to nerf magic either. Let's see, nobility and divine power intertwine. Kings are blessed or cursed by visible celestial forces. And magic is slowly re-emerging after centuries of silence. Strange creatures stir, and ancient bloodlines remember their strength. So, I'm kind of here on 1 or 2. What about you?
Yeah, I think 2 is probably the most generic of them all. It keeps it pretty even. If we want to go a little bit more unique, one would be that case. Gives it a little bit more to play with there. So I think I'd go with 1 or 2. Either one of them would be a good choice. I think. Let's see, civilization is powered by ancient sigils carved into the land itself. Control the runes, control the world's balance. I mean, that could make some interesting plays of power and stuff as to how those work. So this is something that we often do. So let's see just what it looks like. I don't want to lock it in necessarily yet, but let's see what a mix between 1 and 2 looks like. The vast empire unified. At the end of the day, you get to choose.
That's right. That's right. Once a vast empire unified by the power of sacred runes carved into the earth's bones, the world has since fractured. Each surviving realm now controls only fragments of the ancient rune network, shards of the world's former might, and wars quietly to control more. It's pretty good. Power through territory. Magic is not wielded, it's governed. Those who own the land own the spell. Oh, that's an interesting twist on magic. Is that a twist that we're happy with? Or one that we'd prefer not?
I'm a little worried about the next thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Ancient memory. Minimized memory magic. Kelly. They just can't stop themselves.
Let's see. Runes remember their makers, but no one alive understands them. Yeah.
Don't love that.
No, me neither. Maybe we just go back to Runebound Kingdoms. Or sorry, Shattered Realms.
Yeah. I think let's go with Shattered Realms and keep it a little bit more agnostic to the high fantasy world.
Yeah. I think a normal build, I'm happy to go with Runebound Kingdoms or whatever, but since we're going for something kind of, I guess in a way vanilla at its start.
Yeah.
I think this is a good start here. Okay. A once mighty and unified civilization, the world is splintered in independent city-states, dominions, and enclaves. Each claims to be a true heir to the old empire's glory. Trade routes crisscross ancient ruins. Alliances rise and fall like tides, and forgotten powers stir in the cracks between nations. Late medieval to early Renaissance technology. Steelwork, city walls, early navigation, limited magical engineering. Okay, that fits. For magic, it's common enough to shape daily life, but heavily regional, bound by culture, bloodline, or environment. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Politics, every city-state is both ally and rival. Diplomacy and betrayal are daily arts. Yeah, so for those of you DMs who really like political intrigue, there'd be plenty of it here for you. And for those who want to ignore it, well, that's their problem, not yours, right? So government, or sorry, geography, fragmented, scattered continents or lands divided by mountains, storms, or ruined empires. Yeah, I think that's good. And finally, the tone, balance of wonder and decay, beauty surviving amid ruin. Yeah, I think this is a really good start.
Yeah, it's a very, like you said, it's a very vanilla, like just very plain, simple, which we haven't done one of these yet with this. In my own personal dealings, I haven't done it either. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah. All the weirdness can come later, but we want to start with something like everybody recognizes.
It can. Yeah, it can. Honestly, in phase 6, when we get to the wonders of the world, where we deal with magic and technology and the mystery of the world, I think we can bring a lot of that in. Or even as we're doing like some of the landmarks in phase 3, like I think some of those things can bring in some of that life that we're maybe wanting to have.
Yeah, definitely. So player
Without.
influence. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, without like guiding it from the very start into that, like we're not getting pigeonholed into something and saying like you gotta be like this right off the bat.
Yeah. So power and politics matter more than destiny or prophecy. Excellent. Geography and heritage define people. Each realm has distinct traditions. Good. Magic is practical and territorial, not cosmic or illusory. And conflict tends to be ideological, economic, or territorial, not universal good versus evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
All of that. Yep. Let's see. And then world genre, shattered realms, high fantasy, good and creative limits, no prophecy, illusion, memory, or multiverse themes. We may get what we want out of this after all.
Yeah. The only thing is they dropped the music, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, that's true.
We might just have to be ruthless if it starts coming up with it. We say, hey, look, we knew you were throwing this in. Just cut it out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
We can play with that. We can work with that.
If you're following the game so far, step 1, we've selected players. Step 2, we set limits. Step 3, we chose kind of the overall genre of our world, and now we're on to step 4, the tone. The tone sets the emotional atmosphere of your world, what it feels like to live there. All right, and this one I think, again, we're trying to sort of get something that everyone recognizes as a D&D world. Does that sound right to you, or are you ready to start?
Yeah. No, I think we really want to establish this at this level, and then from here, I think we can start making some crazy ideas. So let's look through each one of these and see what one makes the most sense.
Yeah. So we got hopeful resurgence, civilization rebuilds, optimism beneath hardship. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Not too strange. It's not out there at all. Dark and worn. Mm-hmm. The light of the old empire fades. Survival is everything. I think we'll probably skip on that one. Mysterious and layered. Secrets and strange forces ripple beneath the mundane. Now that could be fun.
Yeah.
Romantic and tragic. Grand passions and doomed loyalties rule hearts and thrones. yeah, if you're the DM who likes political intrigue, that's the way to go, I think. Stoic and harsh, life is cold, but duty and pride endure. And whimsical grit, rough edges meet eccentric charm, lively but dangerous.
I'm feeling 3 is probably our best bet. Secrets and strange forces ripple beneath the mundane.
Yeah.
I think that gives a quiet mundane of life that's just kind of going on. I did actually kind of like 2, but I get your point of not doing that one. It's a little bit more on the heavier survival side,
Yeah.
a little bit on the darker. And that could be a fun world to play in. I like that style where it's like the points of civilization are light and everything in the wilderness is dark, and you got to traverse the darkness and to survive and everything. But that is a very different game than something that's a little bit more just generic and vanilla. And since we're going that more route, I think 3, mysterious and layered, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with that. Yeah, that's how I see a lot of high fantasy campaigns going. Anyway, it's the Lord of the Rings, right? Secrets and strange forces, the One Ring, and what it's doing to everyone, and what you need to do. But most people just live in the Shire, you know.
That's what most of my NPCs are, right? They have no idea that there's some mysterious dark power that's threatening to destroy the world. It's your 5 players that are for some reason pulled into this.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and your players, generally speaking, are going to be the ones that are looking at those secrets and strange forces. They're not, they're not dealing with the mundane. All right. Oh, excellent roll, Jeff. That was a good roll.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I did roll a 2, but I just ignored that.
All right, so here's our world tone. The world is built on secrets, buried histories, veiled powers, quiet conspiracies. The common folk see only fragments of the truth, while scholars, nobles, and wanderers piece together deeper mysteries hidden in ruins, relics, and ancient bloodlines. The shattered realms aren't just politically divided, they're philosophically fractured. Every kingdom interprets the past differently, rewriting its legacy to justify its present rule. So the mood is enigmatic, subtle, and rich with hidden meaning. Conflict, knowledge is power. Wars might be fought over texts, relics, or lost languages. Magic feels old and maybe misunderstood. It works, but few truly know why.
I like that.
People cautious, proud, and steeped in local superstition. Outsiders are both feared and revered. And atmosphere, candlelit archives, fog-wreathed cities, ancient murals, half-deciphered, truths long forgotten. Anything you don't like about that tone?
No, I feel that's good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping for. So, let's see. So far, our world stands shattered realms, high fantasy, city-states fractured after fallen empire, mysterious and layered tone. Secrets, ruins, half-forgotten truths dominate, and limits. No prophecy, memory, illusion, music, multiverse, or alternate realities. Oh,
hey, put the music back in.
Okay. All right. I had a thought. Shattered Realms. How do you feel about that name?
I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay.
It invokes to me like split apart islands and stuff. So yeah, I don't necessarily love that name.
Yeah.
I don't know what a good other idea is, but
so maybe I was thinking maybe we should try and come up with a new name now, but then I saw our next step is historical events. So maybe the historical events tell us what the name of this world is. Based on what happens in its history.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, let's go on. Let's go on to historical events. Yeah, let's roll. Okay, so you'll see here that it starts with assigning a player. So if you were here in chat, you'd be able to give us a role or make your own selection, or ask us to give you a new roll table, or choose a historical event all your own. But this is kind of sort of turn-based in a way, deciding who rolls. And so let's see. Let's Jeff, why don't you roll one and I'll roll one and see what we get out of that.
Alrighty. All right, I ended up with a 5.
I got a 4. So 5 is Act of Embers. Several kingdoms united briefly under a shared threat, but the alliance burned out. It's pretty good. And Silent Flood is 4. A continent or inland sea was swallowed by unnatural still water. No sound, no waves. I like that much less.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at our other options. The Empire's Fall. The once united world fractured after the death of its final emperor. I think that's got to be
A good solid choice.
a historical event for, yeah.
Yeah.
Stones awakening monoliths and ruins begin to stir with strange energies. Old powers resurfaced. That's not bad either.
Meh.
Kind of like that. War of Crowns, number 3. Rival city-states claimed the same imperial lineage, sparking generations of war. Okay, that would be something I think fits well. And number 6, The Broken Sky. A celestial or magic phenomenon permanently scarred the heavens, changing navigation and faith. So I know where I'm leaning. Let me know what you're thinking.
So, well, I have a question for us. Where are we starting in the history of things? Like, are we starting mid-history? Do we want to take this back to how this world was created? Like, because this almost assumes mid-history, right? Some things have already happened.
Yep.
Do we want to go earlier at all, or would we rather just kind of go with the flow and see what we get?
That's yeah, that's. I mean, there's always, well, maybe not always. I was going to say there's always a prehistory, right? There's always something that happens before history starts being recorded. But maybe that's not actually true. I suppose you could have a world that is created by a god all suddenly, and everybody knows and understands what happened.
There you go.
But
The pretend one, right? Where it's like, it looks like it's old, but it's not actually old.
so, but I think most worlds that we imagine are kind of mid-history.
Yeah. I like to take them back. Like, me personally, I always like to take them back to get like the how did this world get created, and answer that question. But what if we go ahead and move forward with where it is now, and then maybe we consider coming back to it and saying, can we do more with it later? And we could always move on to phase 2 and that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
maybe we come back and fill in the details of like, okay, yeah, but now how did this world actually come into being and existence? Because I think that does shape the world and the magic and all that kind of stuff, and how, like who the movers and shakers are, and really defines things like, does your world have gods? Does your world not have gods? Like, those kind of things are key elements that would come out of kind of the shaping of the world itself.
Yeah.
But I think we could move forward without it.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like Empire's Fall here, Empire's Fall,
Mhm.
because it
Yeah.
seems like the pivotal event in history, at least the one that most affects our players now. And then yeah, I think we do kind of dig into that history a bit. Who was the last emperor?
How many emperors were there before?
Exactly.
Yeah, like, did the emperors unite the world? How did they? Because they united it, of course. So how did they unite the world? what was existing before the world that wasn't united? I think there's a lot of questions to be asked, but it's a great, I agree with you, it's a great place to start
Yeah.
and say there was once a united world and now it's fractured.
Yeah. And just as we have sort of like the pivotal point of, you know, 0 in our history, and then we have BC, AD,
Yeah.
this would be sort of like that 0 point. So let's see.
Let's go with it then.
Let's go with- Okay. A world begins where an empire ends. The empire's fall is the perfect starting point for Shattered Realms, the event that transformed one vast civilization into the fractured, mysterious patchwork of city-states that defines your world today. Let's expand on that with stage 2 historical detail. How, why, and what changed when the empire collapsed. Okay. Good. So this is exactly what we wanted to do next. The empire vanished, no body, no heir, no trace. The imperial bloodline dissolved overnight. Civil war of 1,000 banners. Every province declared itself the true heir. The empire tore itself apart. Number 3, magical infrastructure collapse. The empire's enchanted roads, wards, and aqueducts failed, isolating cities overnight. Ooh, like an
Ooh,
EMP.
I
Imagine
like
an
that.
EMP.
That's what I rolled, by the way. It's 3. Just keep that in mind.
Okay. Faith schism. Imperial religion splintered. God once now united, now claimed by rival sects.
That's
And
interesting.
yeah. Assassination silence. The emperor was murdered, and all who witnessed it died mysteriously within days.
All right.
Last edict, the emperor issued one final decree before vanishing, a command so divisive it destroyed the empire. Ooh,
It's pretty good too.
Last edict too.
I-
It gives me Ready Player
I like
One vibes.
3 and 6. Yeah. I like 3 and Ready Player One. Nice. Medieval Ready Player One. Nice. Yeah, I like 3 and 6 are both really interesting. I don't know which one I like better.
What's a mix of that look like to you?
Let's see. Yeah, what if? Oh, yeah. Let's talk this out. So, what if the emperor, like the office of the emperor itself, was what ultimately kept all those enchanted roads and wards and aqueducts intact, right? And by his disappearance and his vanishing, it now takes all of that away, right? Isolates the cities and creates whatever this command is was also divisive enough that now not only do you not have the convenience of a united empire under one banner, under one emperor who's apparently his seat or power was fueling all this, is now gone and removed. It almost also goes to 1 as well, where it's like no body, no air, no trace, everything's gone. I like that idea actually of like this kind of schism of this because of the emperor vanishing.
So what do we? Did he give a last edict?
Is that? Well, yeah. I was gonna say, is that 1 and 3, or is that 3 and 6 then?
I think it's 1 and 3.
And what would that? Yeah, that does sound more like 1 and 3, but could it be? I mean, 6 also talks about him vanishing, right? So maybe it's 1, 3, and 6. He vanishes. There's no body, no air, no trace of him. The roads break down. All the enchantments break down. And he also gave this command at the end. I don't know what that command is, though. That's what's kind of holding me off. Is like, what's so divisive? What did he say that was so divisive?
I was just thinking about a roll, asking for a roll table of last edicts.
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe
let's tell it we're considering 1, 3, and 6, but we want to know like what that edict might have been.
So I was just rereading all of them, and I think they all work together really well, like as
They
a
do.
single thing.
They do. They
I mean,
do.
this
I mean,
exclusive
ultimately,
signs.
well, yeah, I was gonna say 5, not so much.
Yeah, but it could. You could figure out a way to work that in.
Yeah, I don't love. I like the vanishing more than the he was murdered somehow or something. Like, I don't know. You could do like a false death, certainly. Like, oh, I wasn't really killed. But I don't know. I feel like that one's stretching it a little bit. This Civil War of a Thousand Banners totally makes sense. If there is no heir, then that would make sense. The faith schism could also make sense as as the religions now now vie for control. I think that one's a little bit more out to the side of the other ones. So like if the ones I would seriously consider together as 1, 2, 3, and 6, 4 and 5 are a little bit out there.
Yeah, I think religion would in some way react to this, though.
It certainly would. It's more the fact that it talks about the gods once united, now
Yeah.
claimed by rival sects. It went higher. It went up into the gods realm. I think if it was like the religions vied for control, or like, then that might have made more sense to me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with some last edicts.
Yeah.
See what. Zeroed in on something truly world-defining, the last edict, the Emperor's final decree before the Empire collapses. This is a brilliant anchor for the world's mystery, and tone below is a table of possibilities for the last edict. Okay. No realm shall claim dominion over another. All magic
edict.
is henceforth forbidden. The gods are false, worship only the truth. Every child shall inherit a crown.
What?
Heaven and earth.
Oh, God.
The Empire.
Number 4 is just insane.
Yeah. All of these are pretty much terrible, I think.
The number 1's kind of an interesting. No realm shall claim dominion over another is kind of fascinating to me, but.
And maybe that's the reason he died, right? Or vanished. So he says this, and it's the most powerful realm didn't like it. Interesting.
Without an imperial hierarchy, provinces fractured instantly. Every city became a kingdom overnight. Is that second column like its goal or something?
Sorry.
Like what his goal? What does it say for the? That's fine. Intent. Okay.
Yeah, goal.
Let's see. The four cracks me up. Every child shall inherit a crown. Thousands claim nobility. Just everyone. I'm a king now. I'm a king.
I mean, you could see some leader trying to give power to the people. You could imagine that, and just being completely
yeah
about how that would go.
He said it more tongue in cheek, right? Like every child shall inherit a crown. Like, not really. We don't really mean you'll actually be the king, but you'll have some free will and choice, but we'll still rule over you.
Yeah, the people took it literally.
Right. I mean, I kind of like 1. No realm shall claim dominion over another. I don't know that I love 2, just because that would make for like now you've got to play in a world where magic is kind of forbidden. Definitely divisive, but gods are false. Worship only truth. If we wanted to go for a more anti-gods world or no gods world, that would be an interesting one to have had that and then not have them. That could be an interesting. 4 is just laughable. 5, seal the gates of heaven and earth. I mean, I feel like that's just pulling in something that's unnecessary, unless there's something in the history that, like, unless this was a world where celestials and demonic forces also lived amongst society, and that for some reason he's like, yeah, we're done with that. That one really wouldn't make a lot of sense in my opinion. Let the empire be divided into 12 equal realms, kind of similar along the lines of 1, and would be an interesting it would be an interesting one as well. I like 1 and 6. If we had to go with something from this list, I would say 1 or 6 would be the ones that I would gravitate towards. What are your thoughts?
I was trying to imagine my own edict, and that's pretty difficult.
It is, especially divisive, right?
Yeah. I kind of my instinct, my first instinct was to ask for a new roll table and see if we get. Yeah, I think there's a great choice out there, but I don't think it's here.
Yeah. We can go again. Let's do it. Let's try. We can always come back to one of these too, right?
That's right. All right.
Who knows? Maybe this next set will have everything we're looking for.
Already, let no one speak the true name of the Empire again. I already like that better than anything we've seen so far. Return the stones to silence. We'll need to read more on that one. Every boundary is sacred. Bury the light beneath the earth. The crown shall pass to the world itself, and when the 13th dawn rises, remember me. All of these are better to me.
See, so what's
number
that?
6 is a prophecy, but
we didn't say no prophecy. We just said diminished prophecies. But
yeah. One single overarching prophecy is fine, but a place that constantly is giving prophecy, I'm not down with.
Right, exactly. All right, so what's that first one? Let one speak the true name of that no one speak the true name of the empire again. Its intent is to erase the empire's hubris or hide a terrible secret encoded in its name. Okay, so something about the empire, like it's got too full of itself. It's reached too far, right? Or it's done something that it shouldn't have. Okay. The empire's name was struck from all monuments. Maps bear only fragments. Scholars still argue what it was. That's interesting. So
this would have to be a few hundred years after that occurrence in order for
yeah,
people to start forgetting.
which is fine. This is the start of our history. So, yeah, that one's not bad.
And there's a lot to explore there. Why would he make this edict? Like, why does he want the empire forgotten? Like, that seems very anti-emperor.
But it does speak well to a final emperor. Like, it's basically it's the mic drop. He's like, and mic drop. I'm out. The empire's done. No one talk about it ever again. Right? I like it. I like the mic drop now.
And I think the other thing I'm thinking is he's definitely an elf and still living somewhere.
Some hermit in a city.
yeah. He's just watching over the chaos that he created. Maybe enjoying it or thinking he did the right thing, or maybe the opposite.
I like it. I do like this.
So let's see what else we have here. Return the stones to silence. Number 2. Intent to end the empire's dependence on rune or relic-based magic. Monuments, roads, towers powered by enchantments went dormant, some violently, some peacefully. That's something. I'm not sure what, but it's something.
It is, but I think I still like the idea that somehow magic is the magic of this kingdom is tied to this empire is tied to the emperor itself.
All right. Every boundary is sacred. peace by enforcing borders as inviolable divine truths. Trade and travel collapsed. Even now, realms treat their borders as hallowed and untouchable, guarded by customs, taboo, or curse. So they're they're building a wall. Okay.
All right.
Bury the light beneath the earth. To hide something, an artifact, a force, or a truth that must never see the sun again. Excavations and forbidden catacombs remain. Miners whisper of buried sons of lava. I really like this one.
You do? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm very opposite. I don't like this one at all.
Okay.
Doesn't mean we can't do it.
It's not campaign setting. It's more like a campaign, right? There is an artifact and you need to go find it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you're right.
I could see that. I could see that as an artifact or as a campaign. Yeah.
Let's see. Crown shall pass to the world itself to dissolve monarchy and let the land, spirits, or people rule. And then strange phenomena emerged: storms that judge kings, mountains that refuse trespass, rivers that remember betrayal. Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. And then here's our prophecy. When the 13th dawn rises, remember me. Every 13th year, omens stir. The world wonders if the emperor's spirit or punishment returns. 13th dawn rises. I'll tell you. So one makes the most sense. I dig one. I want to mix in a little bit of 6. And this every 13th year,
Yeah.
omens stir and the world wonders.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be down for that.
I feel like they got it wrong. Like, they look for him every 13th year, but that's not what dawn meant. And so we get to sort of explore what did the emperor mean by 13th dawn rising.
Maybe that has something to do with this terrible secret.
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
Maybe it's like reincarnations of the emperor that have happened, and no one's known about it. Every 13 reincarnations of the emperor or something. Be interesting.
Yeah. This emperor decided not to have any children because the 13th emperor is always a bad one.
Is he the 13th emperor then? Is that what's going on? Or maybe he's the 12th. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see.
Make it 1 with a bit of 6.
A hint of 6. It's like we're cooking.
Yeah, right?
With a dash of 6.
Interpretations of his edicts.
I mean, we do call ourselves Brewhouse Tavern here for a reason, so.
That's right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, how do you feel about that? Let's mix 1 with a bit of 6. Interpretations of his edicts have been misunderstood.
Sure. Let's see what it's got.
I just didn't want to lock into that particular
Dawn.
edict. Yeah. Let no one speak the true name of the Empire again. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it did. It just mixed those 2 edicts together.
Nice.
Oh, and it gave us some.
No one knew what the emperor.
Interpretations through the ages. So the silence doctrine, the true name
nice.
carried a curse. To speak it would doom the world. Libraries burned, chronicles redacted, monuments chiseled clean, entire centuries of history are now nameless. Oh, oh. 13th cults. The 13th dawn foretells the Emperor's return, an eternal dawn when he will rule again. Secret societies and dawn-watching cults still gather at solstice horizons, waiting for signs. Dawn-watching cults. That's awesome. A scholar's view. The edict was a metaphor. The Emperor foresaw fragmentation and meant to spare his people the pain of nostalgia. Historians see him as a tragic philosopher, not a ruler gone mad. That's pretty good. Heretical claim the true name was not the Empire's, but the world's. The edict silenced the gods themselves. Heretics believe the edict broke divine language. That's why no prophecy, illusion, or divine speech truly work anymore. Oh, hello.
Thank you. We're just baking that right in. Like, here you go. I like it.
Cynics whisper it was nonsense. The Emperor was dying, delirious, or crouched.
I love it. Yet cynics dare not test it by speaking the forgotten names aloud. They're like, well, it's probably true, but I'm not going to say it.
It's fun. Every realm uses a different name for the old empire, none correct, none complete. Historians speak of the nameless age. Some ancient obelisks still bear runes that shift when dawnlight touches them, perhaps counting the 13s or 13ths since that fateful decree. Okay.
I put it together into our first event.
Oh, it's 0 AF.
After the fall, I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do we?
So what I'm thinking here is we've already had some really, I think, solid ideas.
Absolutely.
About the Emperor. Let's feed it some of that thing. Some of the things we are thinking about. He's the 12th Emperor, and the 13th Dawn is the bad one, or any of those ideas that we were just kind of throwing around that we want to kind of attach to this. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like that he's the 12th Emperor. I think I still do like the idea that's what we missed in here is we didn't get 1, 3, and 6 from that original stuff because we still had that like I did really kind of like and you can push back on this one if you don't like it. I still did like the idea that somehow whatever was creating the unification, and I'm assuming it was like the Pax Romana kind of thing, right? Where it's like it's a great society for the most part, all under the rule of this emperor, but with him vanishing, all hell's about to break loose, right? And I like the idea of that being tied to him and magic. You know, maybe the magic that was sustaining the land is tied to him. I still do like that piece, and that maybe caused some of the fragmentation of whether that be roads or aqueducts or structures and stuff. I like all that stuff.
Okay. Emperor was a what do you call? He's focal point.
Focal point? Yeah.
Of the magic, and with his departure, magic that
this caused problems.
the magic that held together infrastructure throughout the land was weakened.
Yeah, I like weekends too. I don't think it should be completely destroyed because I think that's I don't know that eliminated is a good idea. I think just weekend would be good because we don't want to full out go go dark on magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
This was the 12th Emperor.
we want to do that one?
Oh yeah, I like the 12th Emperor. You can just leave it at that. This was the 12th Emperor. You figure out what you want to do with that.
Yeah. Do we want to say that the true meaning? Here's my thoughts that came sort of after that I haven't voiced yet. He's the 12th Emperor. 13th Emperor is going to be, it has historically been a bad one. And now that he's kind of like gone out into the world and just tried to not be involved, he's now fallen in love. So
okay,
he's he's putting the world in danger, and maybe the person he's fallen in love with is an agent of chaos, or like a
sure.
Like, you like all of that? Like, we want to include it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
The true meaning of the 13th dawn is 13th Emperor. Every 13th Emperor.
So when he says, when the 13th dawn rises, remember me, is it a hearkening back to him then?
Maybe we should change the edict to be, if it should a 13th dawn rise, call to me, or something like that. Maybe we can change that edict up a little bit.
Yeah.
Had an heir. Still living. Current day as commoner and has fallen. I think we'll leave out the agent of chaos for now. We'll figure out who she is later. Just the edict to be more like should the 13th dawn rise. Call for me. Call for me? Not call for me. Maybe just remember me.
Yeah, I think remember me is still fine.
Okay.
You can let that interpret itself.
Yeah. Alright. Should the 13th dawn arise? Oh no, it got rid of the other one, but that's okay. Well, yeah. We'll.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I'll have to
Uh,
fix it later.
okay. Well, we are out of time for today. But this is, I think, a really solid first historical event. Yeah, I really like it. I like we've created a good NPC, one that the world sort of turns on, and but isn't going to be like in everybody's face from the beginning. What about you? What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good. We kept it generic enough that it's going to create a good baseline. That's not going to start crazy, and then we can get crazy later if we want to. So I think that's a good start, and I think we've got a good starting point. I like the 0 AF, so we have a date kind of locked in. We can always go pre-AF, BF, I guess. So yeah, I think that could be. I think that's going to be really a good. I think we created a good foundation for what we're going to create this time.
Yep. And if you'd like to kind of follow this world building, you can try and follow it on bit.ly/Brewhouse Tavern. That'll take you to my Notion page, and you can find the setting there. We'll come up with a better name than the Shattered Realms. Yeah, we'll do that next time, probably. All right. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.